let me paint you a picture. You're paying $1,800 a month for a 600 square foot apartment, paper thin walls, no parking, a city view that's just someone else's brick wall, and your landlord just slipped a note under your door, rent's going up again next year. Meanwhile, 2-3 hours away, sometimes less, there are mountain towns in this country where people are paying $650 a month for an actual house, with a yard, with a mountain literally outside their window. And these aren't abandoned mining towns or places with zero jobs. These are real, functioning, beautiful communities that somehow never made it onto the must-move here lists that get passed around the internet. Today we're fixing that. These are the 10 mountain towns that cost less than your city apartment, and why people who've already made the move say they'll never go back. Let's get into it. Number 10, Roanoke, Virginia. Roanoke sits in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, and it is genuinely one of the most overlooked cities in the entire eastern United States. Average one-bedroom rent around $750 a month. For a two-bedroom house with a yard, you're looking at $900 to $1,000. Compare that to Richmond or Washington, D.C., an hour and a half away, where you're paying double that for half the space. Here's what makes Roanoke different from other cheap mountain towns. It actually has a real economy. Healthcare is huge there. Carilion Clinic is one of the largest employers in the region. There's a growing tech and startup scene, and the outdoor access is extraordinary. The Appalachian Trail runs right through the area. Hiking, cycling, climbing, all of it is literally outside your door. The city itself has a revitalized downtown with real restaurants and a craft brewery scene that people drive from other cities to visit. Roanoke is not a compromise. It's a genuine upgrade for anyone paying city prices. Number 9, Missoula, Montana. Now, Missoula is slightly higher than some towns on this list, average one bedroom around $900 a month, but I'm including it because the value per dollar compared to any major metro is still extraordinary, and the lifestyle it offers is in a completely different league. Missoula is a university town, home to the University of Montana, so it has that energy. Bookstores, live music, independent coffee shops, farmers markets. It feels nothing like what most people imagine when they hear Montana. And then you step outside and you've got the Clark Fork River running through downtown. You're surrounded by 5 mountain ranges. Glacier National Park is 3 hours north. You can ski, fly fish, mountain bike, and kayak all within an hour of your front door. The people who move to Missoula almost never leave. That's not a coincidence. It's a town that gets under your skin. Number 8. Flagstaff, Arizona. Most people think of Arizona and picture Phoenix, flat, hot, sprawling, expensive. Flagstaff is the complete opposite of that, and it sits at 7,000 feet elevation in the Ponderosa pine forests of northern Arizona. Average one-bedroom rent around $950 a month, significantly below Phoenix, and a fraction of what you'd pay in Scottsdale. But more importantly, Flagstaff gives you something Phoenix never can: actual seasons, actual trees, and actual mountains. The San Francisco peaks, including Humphreys Peak, the highest point in Arizona, are right there. It's also a college town, Northern Arizona University, so there's consistent economic activity and a younger, energetic atmosphere. And here's the geography angle most people miss. You're 90 minutes from the Grand Canyon. 2.5 hours from Sedona. Flagstaff is essentially the outdoor recreation capital of the Southwest, and people are still paying reasonable rent to live there. Number 7, Pueblo, Colorado. Everyone talks about Denver. Everyone talks about Boulder. Nobody talks about Pueblo, and that's exactly why it's on this list. Average one-bedroom rent in Pueblo around $700 a month. In Denver, that same dollar gets you about a third of the space. Pueblo sits at the base of the Rocky Mountains, about 100 miles south of Denver, and it has access to the same mountain landscape that people are paying premium prices for in the north. Lake Pueblo State Park is right there. Boating, fishing, camping. The Arkansas River runs through the city. The Wet Mountains and the Sangre de Cristo Range are on the doorstep. Pueblo also has a gritty, real character to it. It's a steel town with actual history, murals everywhere, a legitimate arts community, and a food scene that surprises people. It's not trying to be trendy. It just is what it is, and what it is happens to be very affordable and very close to some of the best mountains in the country, Number 6, Boone, North Carolina. Boone sits at over 3,300 feet in the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Carolina, and it is flat out beautiful. Average rent for a 1-bedroom, around $800 a month. That's for a town that regularly makes best places to live lists and sits in the middle of some of the most stunning mountain scenery on the East Coast. It's another university town, Appalachian State, which gives it energy and keeps the economy stable. Skiing at Sugar Mountain and Beach Mountain is 30 minutes away. Hiking is everywhere. The Blue Ridge Parkway, one of the most scenic drives in America, is accessible right from town. And here's the thing about Boone that gets overlooked. The summers are mild. When Charlotte and Raleigh are sweltering at 95 degrees, Boone is sitting at a comfortable 75. For people fleeing southern heat, that alone is worth the move. Now, before number 5, I have to address something honestly. Bozeman, Montana used to be on lists like this. 3 or 4 years ago, it was a genuine hidden gem, but remote workers and investors discovered it, and rent has nearly doubled. Bozeman is no longer a budget mountain town. It's the cautionary tale of what happens when a place gets too much attention too fast. I'm telling you this because it's important context for the rest of this list. These windows don't stay open forever. The towns we're talking about today are still affordable, but the same forces that hit Bozeman are already moving towards some of them. Okay, back to the list. Number 5, Durango, Colorado. Durango is one of those towns that people visit for a weekend and immediately start calculating whether they can move there. Average 1-bedroom rent, around $850 a month, and for that, you get a charming walkable downtown, the San Juan Mountains all around you, and access to some of the best skiing, mountain biking, and hiking in the entire country. Purgatory Resort is 25 miles north. The Weminuche Wilderness, the largest wilderness area in Colorado, is essentially your backyard. What separates Durango from other outdoor towns is that it has a real economy that isn't entirely dependent on tourism. Fort Lewis College keeps the town young and active. The healthcare sector is strong. There's a genuine year-round community here. If you told someone paying $2,000 a month in Denver that they could have this for $850, most of them wouldn't believe you. But it's true. Number 4. Asheville, North Carolina. Okay, Asheville has gotten more attention than most towns on this list, so let me be precise about the numbers. Average 1-bedroom rent around $1,100 a month. That's higher than others here, but Asheville is sandwiched between New York, Atlanta, Charlotte, and DC. All cities where people are paying $2,000 to $3,000 for the equivalent. Compared to where most of its transplants are coming from, it's still dramatically cheaper. And what you get for that $1,000 is extraordinary. The Blue Ridge Mountains, a nationally recognized food and arts scene, a craft brewery culture that puts most major cities to shame, and a community that has one of the most distinctive, creative identities of any mid-sized city in America. Asheville is proof that a mountain town can have everything: culture, nature, food, community, without charging you a major city premium for it. Number 3, Twin Falls, Idaho. Twin Falls is flying completely under the radar right now, and the data on it is genuinely striking. Average 1-bedroom rent, around $750 a month. This is a city of 50,000 people in the Snake River Canyon region of southern Idaho, and the landscape around it is jaw-dropping. The Perrine Bridge, one of only a few places in the world where base jumping is legal year-round, sits right in the middle of town. Shoshone Falls, taller than Niagara, is minutes away. Sun Valley Ski Resort is about 90 minutes north. The economy in Twin Falls is more diverse than people expect. Food manufacturing, healthcare, and a growing tech presence. It's not a resort town with inflated prices. It's a real working city with working city rents, surrounded by extraordinary natural scenery. Most people have never considered Twin Falls. That's their loss and your opportunity. Number 2, Pocatello, Idaho. 2 Idaho cities in a row, and that's not a coincidence. Idaho's mountain towns are among the most undervalued in the entire country right now. Pocatello has an average 1-bedroom rent of around $650 a month. It sits in the Portneuf Valley, surrounded by mountains, and Idaho State University gives it that college town energy that keeps things lively. Skiing at Pebble Creek is literally 15 minutes from downtown. Hiking and camping in the Caribou-Targhee National Forest is everywhere. And you're positioned between Salt Lake City and Boise, both growing metros, making Pocatello Buffalo a genuinely strategic location for people who want mountain living without mountain prices. The city has been putting serious investment into its downtown revitalization over the last several years. The people who get there first before that investment fully matures are going to look very smart in 10 years. And the number one mountain town that costs less than a city apartment is Martinsville, Virginia. Average rent around $550 to $600 a month in 2026 for a mountain town with real access to the Blue Ridge. Now, Martinsville is not Asheville. It's not going to have the same restaurant scene or the same Instagram profile. But here's what it does have. It's positioned in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. The outdoor access is genuine, and it's within driving distance of Roanoke, Greensboro, and the broader Virginia/Carolina mountain corridor. The city has been working on economic redevelopment and attracting remote workers specifically. The cost of living here is among the lowest of any mountain-adjacent community in the eastern US. If your goal is maximum natural beauty, minimum monthly overhead, and a place where your money genuinely stretches, Martinsville is the number that's hard to argue with. So there it is, 10 mountain towns that cost less than what millions of people are paying right now for a city apartment. Here's the truth that connects all of them. The price advantage you see today is not permanent. Every single town on this list is either already attracting attention or will be soon. The Bozeman story can happen anywhere. The people who move first, before the algorithm catches up, are the ones who lock in the value. You don't have to keep paying city prices for city problems. The mountains are right there, and they're more affordable than your landlord wants you to know. Drop a comment below which town surprised you the most. See you in the next one.